In the last class, we have seen about ideal transformer and practical transformer. Now we will extend the topic for equivalent circuit of a transformer. For that, let us consider a transformer which consists of primary winding and secondary winding. And this primary winding consists of primary resistance, primary reactance, and in similarly secondary winding consists of secondary resistance and secondary reactance. And primary winding consists of N1 number of turns, secondary consists of N2 number of turns, by which they will induce E1 into the EMF in primary, E2 into the EMF in secondary, and voltage V2 across the load. Here, voltage induced across the load is V2. And we already know that for a ideal case, there will be losses. For a practical case, there will be losses. That is known as no load current, by which it consists of two components, core component and magnetizing component. So that is also should be represented in the equivalent circuit of a transformer. So in between primary and secondary, there will be iron core that is represented by two parallel lines, just like now represented. Now supply side is V1, which is supply voltage. Current flowing in primary is I1, secondary is I2. And in primary side, there will be no load current. And no load current component is divided into two types. One is for the magnetizing component, one is core component. So magnetizing component is represented by IM and core component is represented by IC. So IC current flowing is nothing but R0 and IM flowing branch is nothing but X0. So this is the actual equivalent circuit for a transformer, in which R1, X1, IC and IM are related to the primary side of a transformer, whereas I2, R2, X2 are related to the secondary side of a transformer. Now, we will draw the equivalent circuit referred to primary. That means all these parameters are shifted to primary only, primary side of a transformer. So for this, let us consider equivalent circuit referred to primary. So there will be no secondary winding, only the one winding is there, that is primary. So all the parameters also shifted to the primary side. So for that, let us consider R1, X1 and R2, X2 also shifted to the primary, and load is also shifted to the primary. So let us consider load of ZL. That ZL, if shifted, it will become ZL dash, and supply side V1 is common, I1 is also common, R1, X1 is as it is as the previous diagram only, and no load component, which is also same because it is in a primary side only. So we should write as it is in the just like in first diagram, I0, IC, X0, IM and R0. The voltage drop across this no load component is nothing but E1, and across load the voltage will be equal to E2 dash, because it is E2 secondary drifted to primary means E2 dash, and here is XL, X2 dash and R2 dash, because these are actually secondary parameters are shifted to the primary, and the voltage across the no load is nothing but E1 only, which is also equal to E2 dash, because E2 dash is secondary into the EMF when referred to the primary. Now let us write the formulas. Here first I2 dash, since the current is shifted to the primary, so I2 dash is nothing but K into I2, because K value is nothing but I2 dash by K, and K is also is equal to N2 by N1, which is transformation constant or transformation ratio. Next R2 dash is given by R2 by K square, and X2 dash is given by X2 by K square, and E2 dash is given by E2 by K. These are the formulas for the equivalent circuit referred to primary. Now same diagram can also be drawn by referring to secondary, which means all the parameters are shifted to secondary side only. So just for that draw same equivalent circuit referred to secondary. Now R1, X1, I0, IC, IM all are shifted to the secondary side. For that, let us draw a transformer whose primary side consists of, whose secondary side consists of R, R1 dash, X1 dash, and R2, X2 load, and in between I0 dash also. So load maybe is ZL, and the voltage across load is VL, and it is X2, R2. Here no load component I0 dash, which consists of IC dash and IM dash, because they are shifted to the secondary. Here V1 dash, because it is referred to secondary. R1 dash, I2, I1 dash, and X1 dash. I0 dash, R0 and X0 dash, and current flowing is core component and magnetizing component IM dash. And the voltage across no load is also will be equal to E1 dash or else equal to E2. Now the formulas for this R1 dash will be equal to, R1 dash is nothing but K square into R1. These are the formulas when referred to the secondary. And E1 dash is nothing but K into E1. And I1 dash is nothing but I1 by K. And I0 dash is nothing but I0 by K. Similarly, IC dash and IM dash can also be written. Now let us derive the expression for voltage regulation. We have already known the formula, but the derivation can be derived as following. Expression for voltage regulation, or it is also known as approximate equivalent circuit referred to secondary, because this derivation is derived from the approximate circuit of referred to the secondary. Just now we have draw the equivalent circuit when referred to secondary. Approximate means we have to shift this no load current I0 dash to the left side. That means R1 dash, X1 dash branch is moved to right side. So same circuit, but I0 dash is shifted to left hand side and the diagram is redrawn. So instead of I0 dash is in between R1 dash and R2, this I0 dash is shifted to the left side, so that R1 dash and R2 dash, R1 dash and R2, X1 dash and X2 will be neighboring only. So I0 dash is shifted to left hand side. So this diagram is known as approximate equivalent circuit referred to secondary. So remaining is as it is referred to secondary only, except I0 dash is shifted to the left hand side. So we are mentioning this circuit as approximate equivalent circuit referred to secondary. So all the details will be common. So it will be equal to R1 dash, R2 dash. So current will be I2, which is nothing but I1 dash. And other branch impedances will be R2, X2. And voltage across no load will be equal to E1 dash or nothing but E2. And voltage across load is V2. And if we observe this approximate equivalent circuit, we will notice something, that is the current I2 will be equal to I1 dash, and the induced EMF E2 will be equal to E1 dash. And from this diagram we can also represent as the combination of R1 dash and R2, that is R1 dash plus R2 can be written as R2E, and the combination of X1 dash and X2 can be written as X2E. That is total equivalent resistance referred to secondary and total equivalent reactance referred to secondary. And if we substitute these values in the diagram, the whole equivalent circuit, approximate equivalent circuit, is again modified as R in terms of R2E and X2E. So it will be V1 dash, current I1 dash, no load current component, that is I0 dash. It will be divided into IC dash and IM dash. And the voltage across this will be equal to E2, because E1 dash will be equal to E2. And the combination of resistance, that is R2E, and combination of reactance, which is nothing but X2E. R2E, X2E, and the current flowing is I2, because I2 will be equal to I1 dash. So, and if we observe this approximate equivalent circuit, we can write as E2 will be equal to I2 into R2E plus I2 into X2E plus V2, which is nothing but KVL. We are applying KVL in this loop. So KVL is nothing but voltage, sum of branch voltages. And if this one I2 is taken as common, R2E plus X2E plus V2, all these are vector sums. So finally the combination of R2 and X2 is nothing but impedance Z. So finally E2 is equal to I2 into Z2E plus V2. So for this, let us draw a phasor diagram. So in this phasor diagram, V2 should be taken as the reference and consider a power factor of lagging power factor, because most of the loads are inductive in nature. So inductance will always consisting of lagging power factor. So current lags voltage. So let us consider a lagging power factor. It should not be compulsory. We can also consider leading also. But most of the cases, loads are lagging because inductive in nature. So if we take V2 as a reference, so draw a phasor diagram by taking V2 as a reference from origin to V2. And since it is lagging power factor, current I2 lags V2 by an angle of phi 2. Phi 2 is nothing but lagging power factor in secondary. So I take repeating as phi 2. Now taking another vector, that is I2 into R2. I2 R2 nothing but voltage only, because I2 R2 means voltage across resistance. In resistance, voltage and current both are in phase. So I2 R2 phase should be in phase with current I2. So actually current I2 is this vector. We have to write here, but instead of writing in I2, I am writing I2 R2 vector at V2, because in order to get the above equation. So I2 R2 will be in phase with I2 only. We are having the same angle as I2 only with respect to reference. Now another term I2 X2E, which is nothing but voltage across inductor, it will be leading the current flowing through resistance, that is I2. It should be leads by an angle 90. Actual vector should be represented here, but I am representing that vector with same angle from here. Why? Because the above equation is E2 should be equal to I2 R2E plus I2 X2E plus V2. So in order to get that formula, compulsory we have to draw the phasor diagram in this particular fashion only. Then only we will get, this is the total vector of E2, capital E2, which is nothing but sum of E2 plus I2 R2 plus I2 X2. Yeah. So in order to get this formula, we have to write compulsory phasor diagram in this way only. Now let us draw a vertex O, A, B and C. So now with center O, angle between this reference and E2 will be alpha. Let us consider alpha, which is of angle very small. Now with center O and radius of OC, draw an arc which cuts OA, that is OA extended line, at a point M. So with center O and radius OC, draw an arc that cuts extended OA at point M, capital M. So this is the origin and this is the OC. So draw OA radius, we have to draw a arc with respect to compass, and that point will be M. Now OA is nothing but V2 and OM is nothing but E2. So approximately E2. Now draw perpendicular from point C onto AM and cuts at point N. Draw a perpendicular from C to AM that cuts at point N. As the value of alpha is very small, if you draw this circle diagram with the help of compass, the distance between m and n will be very small. But now here I am represented with this with to understand the concept, very large gap between m and n, but actually if I draw, the distance between m and n will be very small, so that OM will be approximately equal to ON. If you draw a perpendicular from C onto OM and cuts M, the distance between M and N will be very small because the alpha angle is also very small. So if you do the same with the help of the compass and draw as a professional, then you will get AM will be equal to AN. Distance AM will be approximately equal to AN. Actually, induced EMF E2 is equal to OC, whose length will be equal to OM. But now we have approximated OM will be equal to ON. So rather than finding the OM, now we have to calculate the ON value. For that, let us draw a perpendicular from point B onto AN and place a point as D. Why? Because we have to obtain the triangle ABD. And in the same fashion, from point B, draw a parallel line of parallel to AM and cut the point of parallel line coming from C at point L. Why? Because in order to form a triangle BLC. So now this point we have we have created two triangles ABD and BLCB. And so for this two triangles we have drawn a perpendicular from B onto AM at point D, and from B we have drawn a parallel line to AM at point which will cut at a point L. By doing these two steps we have created two triangles, ABD one triangle and BLC another triangle, and the angle between these two is also equal to phi 2. Why? Because these are the perpendicular lines of AM and I2 are that AB. So angles will be equal. Now in order to find side AD from triangle ABD, now let us consider cos phi 2. In this triangle AD side can be written by using cos phi 2. Cos phi 2 is nothing but AD by AB. It is side by hypotenuse means opposite to the right angle triangle. And similarly second triangle we have to consider sin phi 2. Sin phi 2 is nothing but BL by BC. So for that let us consider from first triangle cos of phi 2, and from second triangle we have to consider sin phi 2 in order to find the sides. So from first triangle let us consider a side AD. So in first triangle current side AD will be equal to AB cos phi 2. AD equal to AB cos phi 2, and value of AB is I2 R2E. So finally AD value is equal to I2 R2E into cos phi 2, because AB value is I2 R2E. Similarly, in second triangle, consider the side DN. So for considering side DN value is nothing but BL only, because those two are parallel. So DN value is nothing but BL, in which BL is nothing but BC into sin phi 2. BC into sin phi 2, and BC value is nothing but I2 X2E. So finally BL value will be equal to, or DN value will be equal to I2 X2E into sin phi 2. Now the value of AN will be equal to, AN is equal to AD plus DN. AD plus DN. And AD value and DN value just now we have derivated, that is I2 R2E cos phi 2 and I2 X2E sin phi 2. So this is the value of AN. Now assuming approximate voltage drop will be equal to approximate voltage drop is nothing but AN value. Actual value is AM, but we have approximated it as AN. And if sine phi 2 will be, or phi 1 will be equal to phi, approximate voltage drop will be equal to AN. And phi also, if phi 2 value will be equal to phi 1 value will be equal to phi, then approximate voltage drop value will be given as I2 R2e cos phi 2 plus I2 X2e sin phi 2. This is for lagging case, and if we consider same for leading case also, you will get similarly for leading I2 R2e cos phi 2 minus I2 X2e sin phi 2. Minus means for leading case, plus means for lagging case. And finally, the percentage voltage regulation value is given by approximate voltage drop divided by no load voltage into 100. Since it's percentage, it should be multiply with 100. So approximate voltage drop by no load voltage E2 into 100. This is the actual formula for the voltage regulation, where approximate voltage is for lagging means positive, for leading means negative. Now let us do a problem based on this formula. So for this, a 250 by 125 volts, that is supply primary voltage, that is V1 is 250 volts and secondary voltage V2 is 125 volt, and kVA rating it is given as 5. So kVA is nothing but 5 into 10 to the power of 3. And single phase transformer has primary resistance R1 value is 0.2 ohm and reactance X1 as 0.75 ohm, and secondary resistance R2 as 0.05 ohm, and secondary reactance value X2 is given as 0.2 ohm. Now find the percentage regulation and secondary current on full load at 0.8 power factor. So power factor is 0.8 leading. So leading means in percentage regulation we have to take minus sign. Okay. So in order to find the I2 full load, so I2 full load known formula is kVA rating by V2, because I2 V2 is nothing but kVA rating. So kVA rating divided by V2, and kVA rating is already given as 5 into 10 to the power of 3. So kVA rating should be considered as 5 kVA means 5 into 10 to the power of 3. So for that let us consider, so 5 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 5 kVA means 5 into 10 to the power of 3. 5 into 10 to the power of 3 divided by 125, and if you calculate this you will get around 40 amperes. Now the value of K is nothing but N2 by N1 or else V2 by V1. So actually it is given V2 and V1, so we have to consider V2 by V1, and if it given as N1 and N2 in terms of, then K should be taken in terms of N. So that is 125 by 250, which is nothing but 0.5, and if you calculate you will get 0.5. Yeah. Next one, after K we have to find R2E and X2E values. So first one, R2E is nothing but R2 plus K square into R1. We have already known the values of K value, R1 value and R2 value, and if we substitute this one in R2, so R2 is nothing but R2 plus K square into R1, and if we substitute these values in this one, you will get around 0.1 ohm, and symbol X2 is nothing but X2 plus K square into X1, you will get 0.3875 ohm. And finally percentage regulation is given by I2 R2e cos phi minus, because it is power factor is 0.8 leading, so minus I2 X2e sin phi divided by no load voltage, that is E2, and I2 value we have already find it as 40 amperes, so substitute 40. R2 value is 0.1, and cos phi value since it is 0.8 minus I2 value 40, X2E value 0.3875, and for finding the value of sin phi, cos phi is given as 0.8. From this you calculate the phi value, cos inverse of 0.8, and once you get the phi value, sin phi value is, substitute the phi in sin phi. Then by using calculator if you calculate its value will be sine of phi, then this value will be equal to 0.6. Yeah, so finally sine phi value 0.6. Finally substitute this value in percentage regulation formula, divide by V2 or else E2, both will be equal, that is 125 V2 or E2. And once you calculate these values, finally you will get, so percentage means into 100, percentage regulation means into 100. If you calculate, you will get minus 4.88 percentage. So in this way you have to find out the problems related to the equivalent circuit diagram. So